Use headphones for better experience. You were texting every day. You laughed at the same memes. They told you things they never told anyone else. You thought this was finally something real. And then, radio silence. No goodbye. No closure. You check their story. They're active. You send a message. No reply. You replay every conversation wondering, what did I do wrong? But what if I told you it's not always about you? What if ghosting isn't just rudeness, but a symptom of something deeper? Something that even they might not understand about themselves. Ghosting hits different when you're someone who overthinks. It's not just, they stopped talking to me. It's, I'm not worth explaining things to. That's abandonment, rejection, the kind that doesn't come with a reason, which makes it hurt even more. And let's be real. In this generation, it's almost normal. People connect fast and leave faster. But it still messes with your mind. What's wrong with me that makes people disappear when it gets real? And if you've ever been ghosted by someone you thought cared about you, this video is for you. Let's break this down with some real psychology. First, let's talk about avoidant attachment. It's a type of attachment style that develops usually in childhood, often when someone grew up in an environment where emotional closeness felt unsafe or unavailable. Maybe they had caregivers who shut down when things got emotional, or they learned that expressing needs equals being a burden. So as adults, they crave connection. But when it gets too close, their brain screams, danger. Here's where ghosting comes in. People with avoidant tendencies can seem warm and affectionate at first, but when intimacy deepens, when you start to see the real them, they panic. Not outwardly, but internally, there's a shutdown. A fear that if they let you in, you'll hurt them, abandon them, or expect more than they feel capable of giving. So, they disappear. Not always maliciously, not because they don't care, but because they've never learned how to stay when things get vulnerable. And here's the twist. Sometimes they don't even know they're doing this. They just feel emotionally drained or overwhelmed. So they disconnect, rationalize it, and move on. That brings us to emotional burnout. In the era of hyper-connection, talking to multiple people, sharing traumas early on, being available 24/7, people are getting emotionally exhausted. If someone already struggles with emotional regulation, that burnout makes them more likely to shut down, especially when real intimacy starts forming. So they ghost, not because of something you did, but because they've hit their emotional ceiling. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt scared, not of being alone, but of being seen? There's a hidden fear many avoidant types carry, the fear of being fully known. Because if someone really saw your anxious thoughts, your past, your flaws, what if they walked away? So ghosting becomes a form of protection. It's like their brain says, leave before they leave you. And ironically, the ones they ghost are often the people they felt most connected to, because that connection made them feel vulnerable, exposed, and that's terrifying. When your emotional blueprint says, vulnerability is danger. But here's the worst part. When you're ghosted by someone avoidant, you start internalizing their fear as your fault. You think, I was too much, too clingy, too emotional. But no, you were just close enough to trigger their defenses. And that's heartbreaking, because what you saw as connection, they saw as risk. So what now? First, stop blaming yourself. You're not too much. You were available. Emotionally present, that's strength. Second, recognize the pattern. If someone ghosts you without explanation, ask yourself, did they open up fast but pull away just as quickly? Did they avoid serious topics? Did they freak out when you got close? That's avoidant behavior, and it's not yours to fix. Third, set boundaries. Don't chase clarity from someone who vanished. If they didn't value your presence enough to give you closure, they don't deserve access to your peace. And lastly, heal forward. If you've been ghosted, it hurts, but it's also data. It tells you something about them, but also something about what you need next time. Choose people who don't run from real, who don't disappear when you show your soul. Because ghosting might be common, but that doesn't mean it's normal. If you've ever been ghosted, I want to hear your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's take away the shame. And if you've ever ghosted someone, maybe you didn't even realize why. Tell us how you felt. Let's grow together. In my next video, I'm diving into why you always attract emotionally unavailable people, and trust me, it'll hit deep. Hit subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and most of all, remember, the right people won't run when it gets real. They'll stay, because real love doesn't vanish.